There is no indication that other countries in the region favor United States sanctions any more than Turkey does. On Iran's opposite border, for example, Pakistan and Iran, meeting in Turkey, recently signed an agreement for a new pipeline. Even more worrisome for the United States is that the pipeline might extend to India. The 2008 United States treaty with India supporting its nuclear programs, and indirectly its nuclear weapons programs, was intended to stop India from joining the pipeline, according to Maid Asaf, a South Asia advisor to the United States Institute of Peace, expressing a common interpretation. India and Pakistan are two of the three nuclear powers that have refused to sign in the Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT, the third being Israel. All have developed nuclear weapons with United States support, and still do. No sane person wants Iran to develop nuclear weapons. Or anyone. One obvious way to mitigate or eliminate this threat is to establish a nuclear weapons-free zone, in WFZ, in the Middle East. The issue arose, again, at the NPT conference at United Nations headquarters in early May 2010. Egypt, as chair of the 118 nations of the non-aligned movement, proposed that the conference back a plan calling for the start of negotiations in 2011 on Middle East NWFZ, as had been agreed by the West, including the United States, at the 1995 Review Conference on the NPT. Washington still formally agrees, but insists that Israel be exempted, and has given no hint of allowing such provisions to apply to itself. The time is not yet ripe for creating the zone, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton stated at the NPT conference, while Washington insisted that no proposal can be accepted that calls for Israel's nuclear program to be placed under the auspices of the EU or that calls on signers of the NPT, specifically Washington, to release information about Israeli nuclear facilities and activities, including information pertaining to previous nuclear transfers to Israel. Obama's technique of evasion is to adopt Israel's position that any such proposal must be conditional on a comprehensive peace settlement, which the United States can delay indefinitely, as it has been doing for 35 years, with rare and temporary exceptions. At the same time, Yahya Amano, head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, asked foreign ministers of its 151 member states to share views on how to implement a resolution demanding that Israel accede to the NPT and throw its nuclear facilities open to EU oversight, AP reported. It is rarely noted that the United States and UK have a special responsibility to work to establish a Middle East NWFZ. In attempting to provide a thin legal cover for their invasion of Iraq in 2003, they appealed to Security Council Resolution 687, 1991, which called on Iraq to terminate its development of weapons of mass destruction. The United States and UK claimed that they had not done so. We need not tarry on the excuse, but that resolution commits its signers to move to establish a NWFZ in the Middle East. Parenthetically, we may add that United States' insistence on maintaining nuclear facilities in Diego Garcia undermines the NWFZ, established by the African Union, just as Washington continues to block a Pacific NWFZ by excluding its Pacific dependencies. Obama's rhetorical commitment to non-proliferation has received much praise, even a Nobel Peace Prize. One practical step in this direction is establishment of NWFZs. Another is to withdraw support for the nuclear programs of the three non-signers of the NPT. As often, rhetoric and actions are hardly aligned, in fact are in direct contradiction in this case, facts that pass with as little attention as most of what has just been briefly reviewed. Instead of taking practical steps towards reducing the truly dire threat of nuclear weapons proliferation, the United States is taking major steps towards reinforcing United States' control of the vital Middle East oil-producing regions, by violence if other means do not suffice. That is understandable and even reasonable, under prevailing imperial doctrine, however grim the consequences, yet another illustration of the savage injustice of the Europeans, that Adam Smith deplored in 1776, with the command center since shifted to their imperial settlement across the seas.